This is the plaintiff, Kelvin Gibson. He says the defendant was weed whacking his lawn, kicked up a stone and hit his car window and shattered it. The cops filed a report. The defendant admitted doing it, but the defendant's wife wasn't so cooperative. She told him he should sue the town because her husband wasn't responsible. He begs to differ and is suing for the $271.56 he's owed. These are the defendants, Giuseppe and Risa Giordano. Giuseppe says he was weed whacking by the curb when out of nowhere. The plaintiff says he's responsible for his car's broken window. Huh? He feels the plaintiff's just trying to get him to pay for a new window when there's no evidence a rock was even kicked up in the first place. Give him $271.56 for nothing? No way. They're accused of rocking it, but good.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant was weed whacking. Stone flew up and damaged his car window. The defendant says there's no evidence he's to blame. It's the case of grass is whack.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Kelvin Gibson.
Yes.
You are suing Giuseppe and Risa Giordano for $271.56 to replace a car window that you say was damaged due to Giuseppe's negligence. Tell me what happened.
I was driving down the road heading north on Connecticut Avenue. And as I was passing his house, he was weed whacking by the curve. A rock flew up, busted my window.
How close to the curb was he?
He was right at the curve.
Was he on the street or on the curbside?
The grass right next to the curve.
Oh.
And it busted my window. I stopped the car immediately.
Wait. Was it a pebble? Or you don't know what size it was?
I don't know.
All of a sudden, your window shatters.
Shattered right out. I stopped right in front of his house and let him know he just.
How do you know it was a rock?
It flew up and just shattered the.
No, but how do you know that? Because you're driving, you're not looking at your back window. How do you know?
I don't know. All I know is as I was passing him weed whacking, it shattered right then and there, and I stopped. Immediately, I told him he broke the glass. And he said he heard it broke. So I called for Suffolk County cops. They came, made a police report. He even said that it broke when he was weed whacking. So I made pictures of it and got it. I had to wait to get it repaired, and then I got it repaired.
May I see the pictures and the repair bill?
Sure.
Wow. What kind of car is this?
It's a Dodge Ram Caravan, side window, the door that slides.
That must have been kind of scary when you heard the noise, right?
Yes, it was.
What happened?
Well, I was weed whacking. I had my back face towards...
Proving once again that no good can come from weed whacking.
Yeah. Well, I was, I had my back towards Connecticut Avenue.
So you're right at the street.
Yes.
And what do? You're weed whacking the government's property? Like that swale part?
Yes.
Because if you don't, they won't?
Correct.
Kind of, okay.
Yeah,
do you have pictures of your property?
Yes.
Let me see this.
Right here's my house.
This one?
Yes, I was weed whacking from right to left.
This one's his house.
Okay, so you're working on this swale right by this little curb right here, right by the street.
Yeah.
Okay, and what happens?
So I was going right to left, and all of a sudden I heard a car skid out, and I heard glass fall on the floor. So I looked over, and I see the car one house over, and he's backing up, and that's the gentleman here.
Right.
So he comes out of the car saying that it's my fault I broke his windshield. But to be honest with you, there's no dirt there. There's just grass and the curb, and
there's always wrong.
But
anyway, obviously it would never have been on purpose. It's just kind of thing. But it was like right as he's going by you, right? That you heard it, and
I saw him at the corner.
I mean, what else would it be? I don't know.
I don't know that, but
I don't know either.
The other thing is when the officer.
Yeah, I'll get to you in a second. That's sort of how it went out there, right? He was, she was very forceful that she wants to be heard because it can't be our fault, and he was like, oh, sorry.
Before the police officer got there, He took the weed whacker and started walking towards the house while we were waiting for the police. She come running outside saying that property, that portion of the property doesn't belong to them, it belongs to the town, that I should sue them, that they wasn't going to pay anything. So, and then I made up my mind. I had to pay, or, get paid back for this window.
Okay, so did you want to respond to that?
That's not true.
Well, you have a right to say that, so is it really?
I didn't even come out. I was sitting on the steps.
You got to take some credit for that.
I was sitting on the steps with my daughter. She was, rollerblading or whatever.
How old's your daughter?
She's 7. And when I saw the car and then back up, I didn't really know what was going on. And then I went inside with her because it's a very busy main road, and sometimes it's scary. I've even pulled up and rocks have come up. It's extremely busy. So it could have been, I didn't even speak to him. I didn't say anything about the property, nothing. He asked me for our insurance, our car insurance, and I said—
No, homeowners.
Then you asked me for the homeowners. I said, I'm not giving, I didn't speak to him. He didn't hear me. I was at the front door. I said, I'm not giving you any information. I said,
wait, so your husband? You're not giving
I told my husband.
I'm not giving you any information.
I'm not giving out any of my information. I said, let him call the police and see what they say.
Are you guys married or dating?
We're married.
How long have you been married?
Long time.
Actually, 14 years tomorrow.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That's kind of the way it works in my house, too. It's a very good model.
Yeah, keep quiet.
You're on a need-to-know basis, pal.
So is the defendant responsible if a stone flies up and damages the car?
Yes.
Why?
Because even though he didn't see it, it was his fault because it
But he
came.
didn't see it. He didn't see it. What do you think?
Well, he's supposed to check the yard before he starts
So you're
working.
supposed to find every stone in the ground?
That's right.
Jeez. Going inside the courtroom.
I don't know how anyone in those shoes could ever prove this kind of case unless the rock talks. I came from the weed whacker. I didn't come from the street. The rocks usually don't talk. So what am I left with? I have a civil case, not a criminal case. In criminal cases, the burden of proof is beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. That's a really high standard. In civil cases, it's this. Is it more likely than not? Does he tip the scales just a tiny fraction in his favor that it's more likely than not? I've had rocks, just that you drive or the other person drives and then the rock comes, I don't know that was this situation because I haven't heard one word about there was a car in front, there was a car behind. There certainly wasn't a car moving on the side because he's driving and the window was on the side. It wasn't the front that was hit or the back that was hit, it was the side. So something had to come with some propulsion. And I just sort of think that it's more likely than not that it was something hit with the weed whacker. And so I'm going to find in favor of the plaintiff, which sort of hurts me because, well, it doesn't hurt. I'm glad that you're going to get your money, but I feel sort of bad because I know your pain of waiting around for the city to come and do what they're supposed to do, and they don't, so you just do it yourself. And here we are, right? Mercifully, it's a manageable amount of $271.56. Verdict for the plaintiff. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Okay, so he wins his case against you. Step on in a little closer here. Come on in here. What's your thought on the verdict?
I really don't think it's too fair, but the judge is a judge.
It's just like the judge said, it's just more likely than not. You buy that?
She's a professional, so yeah,
Yes,
I have
she
to
is.
go with that.
If not, what do you think he did? Just see you out there and took advantage of a chance to, I'm going to blame it on this guy? And my windows?
I don't think, no, but, how do I know if his window wasn't cracked already? Something fell inside the car and hit it. How do I know that?
Well,
But
more likely than not. Okay, right around the corner
Thank
this
you.
way. All right, thank you very much. All right, so come on in here. What's your final word on this?
Well, I'm glad justice
You
was.
stand right over here, okay? Yeah.
I'm glad justice was done. He did break the window, and I got paid back for it.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have to pay for something I didn't break.
No. You're so relieved. What are you so relieved about? Has this been a big
ordeal.
Been a big ordeal for you,
Last
man?
night and
You couldn't sleep last night?
No.
yeah,
You gonna
a lot
sleep
of us
tonight?
in there, yeah.
Okay. Harvey?
Well, it may sound harsh, but the bottom line is when you are weed whacking, you are in control, and the control means that if there's damage done, you're going to be legally on the hook.